Back at it for another Saturday night. Welcome to Resurrection 80s. My name's Gary Thull. This is Alt 360 playing all degrees of alternative. And here we are going back to the 1980s. 2 hours worth. If there's something you want to hear, studio line 1551 Alt 361. That's 1551-258-3601. Instagram, you can DM something there at Resurrection Nation. Twitter, tweet at Resurrection NAT or shoot me an email, Gary at alt360.live. Born Stuart Leslie Goddard, better known as Adam Ant. Desperate but not serious, kicks off Resurrection 80s. This is Alt 360.
Kisses drive me delirious.
is Resurrection 80s.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Mr. Davy Jones, David Bowie, and Modern Love, track 3, side A of Resurrection 80s on this great Saturday night. Have you picked up Brilliant Adventure box set? It's the latest offering from the estate of David Bowie. It's good, especially for Christmas, for a present. Shop.davidbowie.com. Speaking of things to buy, the ruby red sleeve and pressed clear vinyl 40th anniversary edition of Joy Division Still is available for pre-order right now. Joy Division on Twitter, New Order on Twitter, or neworder.com. 1963, it's New Order on Old 360.
It's Resurrection 80s.
Now, how long have you had these pains, Mr. Barber?
Now, that's the bar.
2 B's?
1 B. B-A-B-A-R.
That's 2.
Yeah, but not right next to each other. I thought that's what you meant.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
I just died in your arms tonight. I keep looking for something I can't get. Broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. By the bedside table, the curtains closed, the cat's in a cradle. Who would have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Oh, I died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I'm a name on the list. I try to be discreet, but then blow it again. I've lost and found, it's my final mistake. She's loving by proxy, no give and I'll take. 'Cause I've been thrilled to fantasy one too many times. Something
Tune in with your smart speaker and the TuneIn Radio app. Just say, "Hey Alexa, play Alt 360."
Alt 360 Radio, playing all degrees of alternative.
This is Resurrection 80s with me, Gary Thull, on Alt 360, playing all degrees of 80s alternative.
I see light like a mirror. I see light so much clearer. We move so quickly. Who knows where the time goes? Where does this road lead? No one knows. No one knows. Listen to the single heart beating. Rhythm for an ever-changing song. I see light with surprise. I see light. Oh, in your eyes. Take all your troubles, put them in a common file. Light a fire with reason. Watch it rise. Watch it rise. Listen to the single voice singing. Lifted in an ever-growing song. I see light without anger. I see light all together. I see light go on
About halfway through the first hour of Resurrection 80, side A of it with Guadalcanal Diary, a band that was actually from Marietta, Georgia, but sort of piggybacked on the whole REM Athens scene and billed themselves sometimes as from Athens, but actually from Marietta. They would eventually tour with REM later in their career. Started out as a punk band, believe it or not, in high school, named Emergency Broadcast System. Not a great name. Thankfully, they changed it. Guadalcanal Diary, though, could be arguably not as great. So they toured with REM in the early 80s, ended up getting signed to Elektra Records in 1985. That was from their third studio album, 2x4. Pace Magazine called it number 64 of the 80 best albums of the 1980s. They called it a masterpiece. Speaking of albums that got great reviews, their fifth studio album, English Settlement, was released in 1982. This was the third single from the album. Pitchfork listed it at number 46 of the top 100 albums of the 1980s. From English Settlement, it's XTC and No Thugs in Our House on Resurrection 80s.
His Mr. Polly pays his rent.
Just like back in the day with your Walkman, it's Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative. And this is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Joe Jackson and Beat Crazy on Resurrection 80s, a guy who for a time was signed to A&M Records, and there's a great documentary. I've not seen it. I've heard the reviews have said it's great, about A&M Records. It's called Mr. A and Mr. M, about Herb Alpert and Jerry Moss when they formed that record company back in the late 60s, and their approach to the industry and how they really changed it and then sold it at a good time for them that turned out to be a bad time for them. But check it out. It's on Epix, Mr. A and Mr. M. Killing Joke and Change, Wire from the album A Bell is a Cup Until It Is Struck. Still, after all these years, I don't know what that means. Kidney Bingos, XTC, No Thugs in Our House, and Guadalcanal Diary, Litany, Life Goes On. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's do some holiday music courtesy of Annie and Dave. It's Eurythmics and Winter Wonderland on Resurrection 80s.
Over the ground lies a mantle of white, a heaven of diamonds shine down through the night. Two hearts are thrilling in spite of the chill in the weather. Love knows no season, love knows no clime. Romance can blossom any old time. Here in the open, we're walking and hoping together. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight we're having tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along. Walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman. Then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face celebrate the plans that we made. Walking in a winter wonderland. Sweet rhythm, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the other kitties come around. When it snows, ain't it thrilling? Though your nose gets chilly, we'll frolic and play the Eskimo way. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Let those sleigh bells ring. Walking in a winter wonderland. Tell it like it is. Walking in a winter wonderland. Listen to the silence, here we go. Walking in a winter wonderland. And the cold, cold snow. Walking in a winter wonderland. Winter time, yeah. Walking in a winter wonderland. Oh, snow come down with me. Walking in a winter wonderland. Listen to the silence, walking in a winter wonderland.
This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Is this a world
Request a song by emailing Gary@alt360.live. DM through Instagram @ResurrectionNation or tweet on Twitter @ResurrectionNAT. This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Put your flags in the air and launch them up and down. You can lift it up all over the town. And turn to the left, turn to the right. I don't care as long as she comes tonight. She's so mean, but I don't care. I love her eyes and her wild, wild hair. Dance to the beat that we like best. Heading for the 90s, living in the wild, wild west. The wild, wild west. The wild, wild west. Oh, wild west.
The Escape Club and Wild Wild West as we wrap up the first hour of Resurrection 80s. I Wear the Face, their not-so-known debut album, Mr. Mister, before that from it, and Partners in Crime, and some holiday music with the Eurythmics and Winter Wonderland. Karen, sorry, she emailed me and wanted to hear some Belinda Carlisle. Have to bump it into the second hour. Mad About You and Belinda kicks off Side B right now on Old 360.
Please flip the cassette over to Side B to continue the adventure.
I'm mad about you. You're mad about me, babe. Couple of blues run wild, pushing the day into the night time. Somewhere between the two, we start to see. Mad about you, lost in your eyes, mad about you, you and I. About you, right here beside me. Touch us the touch, part of me like I can't believe. Pushing the night into the daytime, watching the skies first light for the city streets. Mad about you, lost in your eyes, mad about love, mad about you and I. Mad about you, lost in your eyes, mad about love, you and I. I'm mad about you. You're mad about me, babe. A couple of fools run wild, mad about you, lost in your eyes, mad about love, mad about you and I.
From ABC to XTC, it's Resurrection 80s on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Hit music. oppress you, they part you, and reap a disaster, re-education for the infants who demand for an innocent instant. The great commandment shows the content between the world and their embarrassing vacant. Believe the scholars, read the reading, realize the man who says anything. The great commandment. The need is believe you, or they treat you like survival disaster, re-education for the infants who demanded for an innocent instant. The great commandment shows the contempt between the world and their embarrassing pavement. Believe the scholars, read the readings, realize the man says anything. The great commandment shows the contempt between the world and their embarrassing pavement. Believe the scholars, read the readings, realize the man who says anything. Great commandment.
And this is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole.
Exhibit B. Another photograph. What's missing from this picture? It's just me. Without my bike! Is this something you could share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry?
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Hurt by envy,
Their 1985 album, A Secret Wish, with Propaganda and Duel. Thank you for some of the suggestions. A great way to kick off the second hour of Resurrection 80s. Camouflage, The Great Beyond, a hidden track, a deep track from Pet Shop Boys from Actually and Hit Music. The guys, by the way, announced 6 new dates for next year's Dream World, the Greatest Hits Live Tour. For the end of the year, though, they're going to join Years and Years for the big new Years and Years Eve party. It's New Year's Eve night on BBC One. Ollie will join Neil and Chris. Kylie Minogue is going to be there. Some other special guests. BBC One, New Year's Eve night. Neil and Chris, they're also going to be presenting their own special BBC Two radio show coming up on Boxing Day. The guys have been added to, and I think I'm pronouncing this right, the Bilbao BBK Live Festival. July 7th, 8th, and 9th, they'll join other headliners like LCD Sound System, Placebo, The Killers, Phoebe Bridgers will be there, Caribou, as well as Supergrass. Again, that's coming up July 7th, 8th, and 9th. So Music Rising, it's a charity from U2's The Edge. They're going to have a Guitar Icons auction to benefit the charity. Tons of different artists have contributed to this. Bono, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, Lenny Kravitz, members of Coldplay, Pearl Jam, Guns N' Roses, Alice Cooper, members of Rush and Foo Fighters. So they're going to have this auction, but fans and collectors will also have the opportunity to hear about the specific instruments from the specific artists themselves with a new interactive platform. If you're interested, check out vegalleries.com for that special event. Let's go to the Joshua Tree as we continue with Bullet the Blue Sky. This is U2. This is Resurrection 80s.
Outside, it's America.
This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
It may have been Camelot for Jack and Jacqueline, but on the Che Guevara highway filling up with gasoline. Fidel Castro's brother spies a rich lady who's crying over luxury's disappointment, so he walks over and he's trying to sympathise with her, but he thinks that he should warn her that the third world is just around the corner. The Soviet Union, a scientist is blinded by the resumption of nuclear testing, and he is reminded that Dr. Robert Oppenheimer's optimism fell at the first hurdle. In the cheese pavilion, and the only noise I hear is the sound of someone stacking chairs and mopping up spilled beer, and someone asking questions and basking in the lights as the 15 fame-filled minutes of the fanzine writer. In pop and politics, he asks me what the use is. I offer him embarrassment and my usual excuses, while looking down the corridor out to where the van is waiting. I'm looking for the great leap forward. Jumble sales are organised and pamphlets have been posted. Even after closing time, there's still parties to be hosted. You can be active with the activists or sleeping with the sleepers while you're waiting for the great leap forward. One leap forward, two leaps back. Will politics get me the sack? Waiting for the great leap forward. Well, here comes the future and you can't run from it. If you've got a blacklist, I want to be on it. Waiting for the great leap forward. Well, it's a mighty long way down rock and roll from top of the pops to drawing a down. You're waiting for the great leap forward. If no one out there understands, just start your own revolution and cut out the middleman. The great leap forward. In a perfect world we'll all sing in tune, but this is reality, so give me some room. For the great leap forward. So join the struggle while you make the revolution. It's just a two-shot away.
Mr. Billy Bragg and Waiting for the Great Leap Forwards. Billy's got a brand new album, The Million Things That Never Happened. It is available right now, both CD and digitally. He's about ready to kick off an Australia-New Zealand tour January 14th. He will do so in Perth, billybragg.co.uk. 1978, speaking of New Zealand, let's go back. 1978, in New Zealand, an indie rock band was formed called The Clean. Centered around brothers Hamish and David Kilgore. Love the name. The band name comes from a character from the movie Free Ride. I don't think I saw it. 12-inch EP was released by the band in 1981. Released November of that year, became a very big hit in New Zealand. Stayed in the charts in New Zealand in the top 20 for nearly 6 months. From the album Boodle, Boodle, Boodle. You gotta love it. It's The Clean and Anything Can Happen. This is Resurrection 80s on Alt 360, playing all degrees of 80s alternative.
Went to a doctor, said
Resurrection 80s.
You know, I agree with Cliff. There's a great deal to be said for discretion. You know, it's entirely possible that Rebecca may grow tired of Robin while on her own, thus avoid the heartache. And on the other hand, as one who was cuckolded by a lover deeply trusted, the longer led on, the harder the fall. I'm just not sure that Rebecca can be as strong and forgiving as I was when that bitch Diane dumped me.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Looking out a dirty old window, down below the cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here alone and I wonder why. Friday night and everyone's cool. I can feel the heat, but it's soothing heading down. I search for the beat in this steady town. Downtown, the young without going. Downtown, the young without growing. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody lives for the music around. Bright lights and music gets faster. Look, boy, don't check on your watch, not another glance. I'm not leaving now, honey, not a chance. Hot shot, give me no problems. Much later, baby, you'll be saying never mind. You know life is cruel, life is never kind. Time will make a new story. Time has no gravity going. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody lives for the music around. Come closer, honey, that's better. Got to get a brand new experience, feeling right. Oh, don't try to stop, baby, hold me tight. Outside a new day is dawn. Outside suburbia is crawling everywhere. I don't want to go, baby. New York to East California. There's a new one coming, I warn ya. We're the kids in America. We're the kids in America. Everybody lives for the music around.
Whether it's from vinyl, 8-track, cassette, or CD, celebrating the decade of 80s alternative. This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
There's a place where everyone can be happy. It's the most beautiful place in the whole fucking world. It's made of candy canes and planes and fire and choo-choo trains and the meanest little boys, most innocent little girls. And you know, I wish that I could go there. It's a road that I have not found. And I wish you the best of luck, dear. Drop a card or letter on my side of town, 'cause there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. But baby, I'm amazed at the hate that you could send. And you been in my entire world.
I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
I wanna be stereotyped. I wanna be classified. I wanna be alone. I wanna survive at home, survive at home, survive at home, survive at home. I wanna be masochistic. I wanna be sadistic. I wanna be alone. I wanna survive at home, survive at home, survive at home, survive at home. I don't want no hippie man. I want a house just like mom and dad. I wanna be stereotyped. I wanna be classified. I wanna be masochistic. I wanna be sadistic. I wanna be alone. I wanna survive at home, 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 survive at home.
I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
From just up the 5 in Manhattan Beach, California, from their debut album, Milo Goes to College, Descendants, Suburban Home, Some Bad Religion and You, Kim Wilde in there, The Kids in America, The Clean, Billy Bragg, Game Theory, and 24, U2 from the Joshua Tree and Bullet the Blue Sky, Propaganda, Camouflage, PSB, Belinda Carlisle. That's the second hour of the mixtape this Saturday night. Rolling Stone Australia, they have unveiled the list of the top 200 greatest Australian albums of all time. Think Australia? The obvious ones that come to mind right away, or should come to mind right away, In Excess, they're at number 2 with Kick. Number 1, AC/DC, Back in Black. Other notable mentions in the top 10, Crowded House, their self-titled debut album, clocks in at number 7. Midnight Oil, Diesel and Dust at number 5. Kind of a surprise for me that it would be this high, but Cold Chisel, East, came in at number 4. Check out Rolling Stone on Twitter, and then you can check out the article or go to rollingstone.com to find it probably a little bit easier. In Excess, let's go to that Kick album. It's Devil Inside on Old 360.
But certainly slight. Look at the faces hands, listen to the bells. It's hard to believe we need a place called hell. Place called hell. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Ooh. Comes a woman with a look in her eye. She's raised on leather, with flesh on her mind. Words are weapons, sharper than knives. Makes you wonder how the other half died. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside, the devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside, devil inside, devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Oh. The devil inside. Yeah, yeah. The devil inside. Yeah, yeah.
It's Resurrection 80s.
Captain, how soon can you land? I can't tell. You can tell me I'm a doctor.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
See the
Tune in with your smart speaker and the TuneIn Radio app. Just say, "Hey Alexa, play Alt 360."
Alt 360 Radio, playing all degrees of alternative.
This is Resurrection 80s with me, Gary Toole, on Alt 360, playing all degrees of 80s alternative.
Got his best girl in the world is not supposed to have a boyfriend, but she's never wanted at home. Other girls are allowed to wear their makeup. She sneaks out her lipstick powder and comb. She's around Thursday with hearts and clouds. Talks on the telephone for hours and out with the bird in his hand. Do on a string the words of love have an invitation ring. I suppose that you're going to stay all night. Little fool, don't look at me that way. You know it isn't right. Little fool, little fool. Little fool, little fool. They say no news is good news. The little girl wants information. Mother just gives her some pills to chew and says go and use your got his best girl in the world, says just look what I got as she sits beside him on the high stool. With his arm around her neck, snowball in one hand and the other full of imitation jewels. She fingers a string of pearls, an imitation, but he never know it. Imitation lashes flutter at bar, looking for an imitation at love. I suppose that you're going to stay all night. Little fool, little fool, don't look at me that way. You know it isn't right. Little fool, little fool.
One of many times he hooked up with either a member of the Beatles or someone associated with the band. From Imperial Bedroom, Elvis Costello and the Attractions and You Little Fool. From the album Autumnal Park, 1984, Pseudo Echo and Listening, a tune that was featured in the 1987 film, I say that with air quotes, North Shore, starring Nia Peoples. Gregory Harrison was in it, and Matt Adler. It was one of my favorite movies. Matt Adler, God, he's not aged well, but God, he looks so good. Back in 1987. That wraps up tonight's show. I know. We cruised through it. Thank you, everyone, for all the suggestions. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Back on Monday for Resurrection Nation. Merry Christmas, everybody, as we get closer to the holidays. We're going to wrap up tonight's show with John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Happy Christmas. The war is over. See you on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend. This is Alt 360. This is Resurrection 80s.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, and you won't just begun. And so this is Christmas. I hope you've had fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young.
A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
fall strong here. The rich and the poor ones. The road is so long, and so